This capital city is divided into two countries, the Greek side and the Turkish side. Let's find out why it's like this and which one is cooler to visit. So one side belongs to the Republic of Cyprus, which is the Greek side, and the other side belongs to the self-proclaimed Republic of Turkey, which is the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. The Mycenaean Greeks settled Cyprus 3,500 years ago, and it was Greek until the years 1571 until 1878 when it was under Ottoman rule. So now we're coming from the Greek side and we're making our way on Laczny Street towards the border between the Greek and the Turkish side, and then there's a buffer zone in between. Right off of Laczny Street is where you walk across the border, and the border is separated by a place called the Green Line. And the Green Line is a demilitarized police zone, which is controlled and guarded by UN peacekeeping services. And basically inside it is just a bunch of rundown, abandoned buildings. Nobody lives there. You can't take any videos or photos there. You walk across, you get a stamp by the Greek side in the Northern Turkish Republic, and then you're just across and you're on the other side, and you're in the Turkish side. Everyone speaks Turkish here. And on this side too, the main currency is the Turkish lira now, not euros like it is on the southern side. So the first thing we're doing on the Turkish side is stepping into a place called Buyukhan. This is just a little marketplace in the center of the city. Got some restaurants, some gift shops, and you can see everything here priced in lira. 1878, the island was placed under British administration, and that's when the Turkish Cypriots wanted to create their own separate country in the northern part of the island. In 1960, Cyprus was granted independence, but after that, there was still a lot of violence between the Greek and the Turkish Cypriots. So now the place we're going to have coffee is called Kumda Kahve.
So before you start drinking the Turkish coffee, you have a glass of water which you sip while the grounds of the coffee go to the bottom of the coffee cup. You also use the water to cleanse the palate, and with the coffee you have a Turkish sweet that you can have on the side. It's really good.
Turkish coffee is a must experience here when you're on this side. It was so cool to just get one and get it served the way it was with the Turkish delight and the coffee itself. You get the water. It's just a really fun experience. In 1960, Cyprus was granted independence, but after that, there was still a lot of violence taking place between the Greek and the Turkish Cypriots. And so in 1963, the Turkish created their own separate republic known as the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. And from 1963 to 1974, there was a civil war that took place where Turkey took control of the northern part of the island of Cyprus. And that created a border known as the Green Line. And in 1983, the northern part created their own government, and they proclaimed it as the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. And the only country that actually recognizes this as a separate country is Turkey. Every other country just recognizes the whole island as a country and known as Cyprus. So we're just walking along the Green Line right now, and this part behind me is the Green Line, but there's a really nice looking soccer field that looks like it's abandoned. Looks like no one's using it. I wonder if people actually use it and who's allowed to use it. So now we're just at this one park, which is right beside the Green Line. You have the Greek side over there, and it's so crazy how you just have it separated by barbed wire. No one's allowed to go across into the Green Line. You can look at it, but it just looks like a whole bunch of nothing. So for a while now, the UN has been trying to stop occupying the Green Line, but it's not known what to do here and who's gonna occupy it. But the coolest idea I've heard about it that I would like to see is basically they just want to make it a whole massive park, like a whole green area, and just have like both sides can go across onto this park and just enjoy the whole green area. But I don't know how that would work, how they would do that. So every one of these points, when you can actually see the abandoned buildings inside the Green Line, there's a lot of military just guarding it and making sure you don't take any photos or videos. It's heavily guarded just to stop you from going across or taking photos or videos. You're not really even allowed to look at it. We got this one thing. It's basically a halva wrapped in Turkish delight, crusted in hazelnut, and it honestly looks so insane. This might actually be the greatest dessert ever invented. Go to the Turkish side just for this. Crossed over back to the Greek side. Similar process here. You just go to border control on the Turkish side, and then on the Greek side walk across the green line again. So once you cross over to the Greek side, what I found is that there's a little bit more spots where you can look onto the green line and there's nobody guarding it, so you can actually look at it and see it. And what we've seen is just a bunch of abandoned buildings. It looks like really run down. It's because no one lives there. We saw a couple military people just driving into it once we were at the border on the Turkish side, but it feels like the Turkish side keeps it more heavily guarded than the Greek side. So we found that there's a lot of Armenian churches and restaurants. So we went to an Armenian restaurant just to try some of the stuff. Forget what this was called, but this is really good. It has some meat inside. We got some hachapuri and then just some chicken. This is back on the Greek side now. So nowadays, both Greek and Turkish Cypriots can travel freely within each part of the island. If you're going from northern Cyprus, the only airports in the northern side of Cyprus will take you to Turkey, and that's the only way you can get across from the northern side. So first you have to travel through Turkey and then to all other countries. Whereas in the south, you can travel from those airports like Paphos and Larnaca freely to any part of the world. Also, if you're coming to Cyprus as a non-Turkish citizen, it's illegal to come through the northern Cyprus and to travel around the whole island. If you're coming through northern Cyprus, you can only travel the north side of the island. But if you want to visit the entire island, you have to come through one of the two airports in the south to then be able to visit the whole island. Nowadays, there's actually still a lot of tensions between the Greek and the Turkish Cypriots. There's a lot of people still missing from both sides, like Greeks unknown on the Turkish side and Turkish unknown on the Greek side. So there's still actually a lot of tensions. Every once in a while, they do votes again to decide if they should separate the country into two. The Turkish always vote for yes, they want it into two, but the Greeks want to keep it as one country. While there's not so much to do on the Greek side either, there's pretty much just Ledra Street where all the shops and restaurants are. There's not too much to do in the capital. The main part is just kind of discovering the green line and seeing the history of it. And while seeing both sides, the Greek side is a lot more developed than the Turkish side. You have a lot more rundown buildings on the Turkish side compared to the Greek side where it's a lot more built up.
There's tons of shopping to do around here. Lots of known brands like H&M or getting something to eat from McDonald's, whereas on the Turkish side, it's more of local businesses.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my other video on what to do on the Greek side of Cyprus. Please like and subscribe because it really helps me out, and I'll see you again in the next one.